Subterrors are a deck that I've been quite fond of ever since their release in the Dark Illusion, as they have great artwork, cool effects, and solid synergy for the time. As our support cards arrived, builds were adjusted accordingly, and now that we have all the pieces, I think I could give you my build. With all that said, however, Subterror has some serious issues that need to be addressed with out-of-theme cards, which makes the deck feel a little glass-jawed at points, but we'll get to that. Subterror Guru is the newest card that we currently have, thanks to it being a Japanese magazine promo card, and once per turn, when it is flipped face up, it allows us to search any Subterror card, monster, spell, or trap, and add it to our hand. Its second effect allows you to flip itself and one other monster on the field, including an opponent's monster, face down, and when you control another Subterror card, such as Cave Clash, this becomes a quick effect. Guru is also an Earth level 4 monster, making it easy to use to go into Naturia Beast, or be used for any other kind of rank 4 Xyz play. The final thing to point out about Subterror Guru is the fact that it's a flip monster, which means it can be used as material in order to make Subterror Behemoth Fiendus, which we'll get into later. On to Subterror Fiendus, probably the only reason I am honestly still playing this deck. Subterror Fiendus allows us to negate anything once per turn, as long as we send it from our hand or field to the graveyard, and then flip one of our Subterror monsters into face down defense position. Make note, of course, of the fact that it does not destroy when it negates, it merely negates. Now, her second effect allows us to flip any Subterror we have on the field face down in order to special summon a Subterror monster from our graveyard in face up or face down defense position. This acts as one of our primary sources of recursion in the deck and allows us to build some big beefy boards.
That is, of course, as long as you have time to, set it all up.
Fiendus is, of course, a level 1 monster, which means it can be tutored out with 1-for-1, and it can be searched with either Guru or Hidden City. And finally, Subterror Cave Clash can actually have you re-add a Subterror Fiendus that you may have discarded from the previous turn when you inflict battle damage onto your opponent. Needless to say, you run 3 at all times. Moving on to all the one-of Subterrors, we have Nemesis Warrior, Umastrix, Phosphoglacier, Stalagmo, and Ultramafuse. With all these guys, you could play around with playing either one of or two of, and then that's kind of personal preference. Ultimately, I feel like these behemoths in particular are the best behemoths, and Nemesis Warrior adds a lot of nice recursion and a good way to make easy rank 4s. For those who may not know what each of these behemoths do, Umastrix banishes by targeting one of your opponent's monsters, Phosphoglacier dumps any card from the deck to the graveyard, Stalagmo makes you discard one Subterror to draw 2 cards, and Ultramafuse turns all cards on the field into face down defense position. They all also have pretty beefy stat lines, making them nice for OTKing using Final Battle or turning into Fiendus in order to buff her overall attack up way too high for the opponent to actually beat over. And as far as out-of-theme cards go, we have 2 Ash, 2 Ghost Ogre, 1 Glow Up Bulb, and 1 Effect Veiler. Glow Up Bulb allows us to easily access Nat Beast, and the rest of the hand traps you can mix and match as you please. Onto the spell and trap lineup, we have 3 Hidden City, 3 Pot of Desires, 1 1-for-1, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Subterror Cave Clash, 1 Soul Charge / Monster Reborn, it's up to you on that, 3 Final Battle, 2 Evenly Matched, 1 Subterror Behemoth Burrowing, and 1 Quaking Mirror Force. Now, besides the 3 Hidden City, the 1 Cave Clash, and the 3 Final Battle, you can honestly interchange this as much as you'd like. You can run whichever draw engine you kind of want. You could either rely more on Stalagmo or use Pot of Desires like I am. That's kind of up to you. Ultimately, I felt like I was bricking way too much with this deck, so I just went full on for the 3 Pot of Desires, even though I know this deck plays a lot of one-ofs. It was just a choice I had to make in order to gain some semblance of consistency, and I feel it pays off pretty well. Final Battle is probably the single most busted trap card in this deck, just because of the fact that it lets you do so much at the flip of a card. It just lets you flip your stuff face up and face down, lets you double their attack basically. It lets you make all your monsters Solemn Strike, Solemn Judgment proof, and allows you to just play through whatever your opponent throws at you on a given turn. If you even have 1 monster on the field and at least 2 Final Battle you are most likely going to win that game sheerly because that card is just busted. Now, as far as the extra deck goes, Nat Beast is a given, and same with Subterror, Behemoth, Fiendus. But where you want to actually kind of focus the bulk of your extra deck on would be the rank 4 Xyz toolbox. I have no other matching levels than 4, so it just makes sense. Some people generally like to have toolboxy links as well, so you could throw a few of the smaller nightmares, an underclock taker, things like that if you want, but honestly the extra deck is super flexible, I find, so just go with what you like. Anyways, at this point I think you've heard me talk enough, so let's get into our replays. So starting this game, I go with a very typical play where I use Hidden City to search out Guru, I set Guru, use Hidden City to flip up that Guru, search whatever Subterror card I need, and play accordingly. Now on my next turn, I kind of decided to just go in and swing in for as much damage as I can, because I know this Cyber Dragon player is extremely delicate, and even if I overextend, he won't be able to punish me properly thanks to the fact that Hidden City can negate his battles, and I have a Fiendus in hand. Here I went for the same Hidden City Guru combo, obviously, and in addition, since I opened Ash, I decided to go for the Cave Clash, that way I had another Subterror name on my field for Guru's effect. This ended up being a really smart call because Magical Musketeers all need to be face up on the field in order to like get their effects, and I mean I ended up just absolutely overpowering this poor sap.
A ton of bricks for Dr. Dorian?
Remember that bricking problem I mentioned? Here it is. So me and my opponent both ended up bricking pretty badly, and honestly the only reason I actually am still in this game is because I top deck Guru. Now here my game plan kind of shifted from solely control to just like doing as much chip damage as I could, because I could not give my opponent enough breathing space in order to mount a comeback. Again, thanks to the fact they bricked and the fact that I was able to actually draw into all my hand traps, even though that was at a particularly unopportune time, I was just able to control the duel from here. Full disclosure, I have no idea what this guy was thinking because he knew I had a Fiendus on field, and I don't know if he didn't read my cards, but Fiendus's effect can be activated on the field. So, I mean, he just gave me the win.
Oh, my favorite.
Now here's a little something different I decided to do for this game. Since I was going up against a Trickstar player, and I mean, you never know what traps they're packing and if they're gonna droll reincarnation you, I decided to normal summon Guru. That way my Fiendus was live, and that way I could negate whatever I felt was most important. This ended up working even better for me actually, because I got to negate his droll without the reincarnation, which let me continue to search using my things like Hidden City and whatnot. Now this turn's kind of just hilarious because it's purely punishment for how aggressive he was with his Solemn, because I literally have exactly 3,000 damage.